when prices are going up, they think realtors are making a lot of money.
People are having a hard time.
It just means a lot of people won't eat that year. It was the most heartbreaking year as an agent.
In terms of the number of homes sold, last year and this year has been an all-time low in terms of the number of transactions. So it's definitely dipped, and I think people are having a hard time getting through a hard year. Sam.
That I'll say that agent, I call it's like the agent squeeze. It's the transaction, because I think what a lot of people on the outside of the real estate industry might perceive about it, versus kind of how is like, okay, when prices are going up, they think realtors are making a lot of money, which is not necessarily true.
Because supply is dipping.
So price is just a product of supply and demand.
Mm-hmm.
So prices can be going up because supply is staying constant, but demand is increasing.
Mm-hmm.
Or supply is going down and demand is staying the same. That's going to cause upward pressure on price. And the opposite's also true.
Mm-hmm.
If supply is increasing and demand is going down, so price is going to come down. That hasn't happened since 2008. It's just not like price. That's why prices have just been gradually growing. But supply and demand doesn't like just that kind of ratio. It doesn't tell you anything about what transaction volume is. Transaction volume, so number of transactions, that tells you how much money realtors are making. So it just doesn't, like if transaction volume's low, prices can be going up. But, if you've got, let's say you have a market that has 1,000 agents in it, if there are 1,000 transactions and 1,000 agents, there's one transaction for every agent, which means a lot of people need to quit. Like it just means a lot of people won't eat that year. Like a lot of people will not make very much money because there's just not enough transactions to go around. And in reality, you're going to have one agent that does 100 transactions, and you're going to have a lot of zeros.
Yeah.
Right. You're going to have a lot of people that just do. There's going to be a spread of. So agents make money based on the number of transactions they do. Like your highest earning agents, like, they're often doing between just themselves. They might be part of a team, but just themselves, they're probably doing between 50, give or take maybe 50 transactions a year. And that's a lot harder to do when, just the overall volume of transactions is low in the market. So I would say like since the end of 2023, it's when rates started to come up from when they reached their all-time lows in like 2020, 2021, which those were good days. We liked those days. Wish we could have those days back for a lot of different reasons. But 2020 and 2021 were great for agents, not just because rates were low. I mean, that helped make conversations with buyers great, but you had a nice, especially through COVID, as much as just, COVID sucked for a number of other reasons, but just in terms of how the market worked, you had a nice balance of a lot of supply and a lot of demand. That's the agent's favorite market, because that means I got a lot of people that want to buy houses and I got a lot of houses to sell them. Right. But then that started to shift in 2021, where you still had all that demand because rates were still low, but you started to run out of supply. And that was like almost, I think 2021, even though I personally, I felt like I had, maybe I had a good year, but it was the most heartbreaking year as an agent, because that was the year that I had just tons of first-time home buyers that they saw that they could afford. Like they had their like 2 and 3% rate. They were like, this is great. I'm going to become a homeowner. And I was like, well, and then agents were just put in this position where you had to be like, you can choose from one of these 3 houses. And by the way, you have to figure out a way to get this house under contract against 30 other buyers. And most of those buyers are not first-time home buyers. And they're going to run circles around you on the contract. I'm going to try to advise you about what to put into the contract, but the stuff that I'm going to tell you, this is your first home purchase, you're not going to be comfortable. You're not going to like it because we're going to be talking about waiving inspections. We're going to be talking about appraisal gap coverage.
Which is still normal in the spring and summertime right now.
Yeah.
And even in the winter.
But all those
good priced
trends,
home.
those trends started in like 2021 because that was when that squeeze like started to happen on buyers, which was also a squeeze on sellers because you still had good demand, but you started to have bad supply. And then by the end of 2022 into 2023, that's when both supply and demand kind of started to suffer because supply stayed low because people were, on the management side, we call them accidental landlords. We call them, people were maybe moving out of their house, buying another one, but they were keeping their house as a rental because it's like, why would I give up a 2.5% interest rate? I'm never selling this house. This house will be mine forever. Pass it on to my kids. Or you have people that are just not moving. They're just staying put. They're doing renovations to their house. So good year for contractors, right? Doing additions, doing upgrades. But you have low supply, low demand. That's when the squeeze gets put on agents. And the irony is that's also probably the year when you had a lot of people rushing in.
You can check out our full library of episodes wherever you get your podcasts.